Day 742 being Christopher Cruz. Today is a wonderful, glorious day. Woo. So second service, that's the one where I really like sit down and receive the message. So many amazing points, so much wisdom. I have a whole little page of stuff. So at the end, so this is not our normal pastor, but a guest pastor. He was talking about like giving, and there's this part of my mind where it's like, don't give church money, it's bullshit, it's a scam, they're gonna use it for whatever, blah 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 blah. And so whenever a church or a pastor talks about money, I immediately it's like immediate resistance, and I really have to fight that resistance. But he's talking about it, and he's talking about laying our finances at the altar, like not being afraid of money anymore. And that really hit me. Like I'm so afraid of money. It's like I'm afraid to lose it, so I want to hold on to it. And so he's like, I want you guys to lay it at the altar. I want you guys to ask God in your heart, what does he want you to give at the altar? And he told this story about, he was doing this at their church, and it was crazy. Like people were giving, rings and necklaces and car keys, and like they were just laying things at the altar and giving it, giving it to God. Obviously they're giving it to church, but they are surrendering to God. Like, I trust you, God. I trust you with my finances. I trust you with this. I trust you with that. And he said he remembers, his church did that, and there was this homeless guy in the back. The homeless guy was looking, and he couldn't really figure out what was going on, and he started to walk towards the altar. And the pastor was like, all right, is this guy going to try to take something? He just didn't have very good thoughts about it. And the homeless guy gets to the altar, and the homeless guy starts pulling the buttons off of his shirt and putting them on the altar. And the pastor said he started crying. The pastor did, because he saw that all this man had was a shirt on his back, and he was ripping off the buttons because that was the most valuable thing that he owned. And it reminded him of the story where everyone's giving, and this gum is making my stomach hurt when you chew it too long. And everyone was giving, and people were giving a lot of money and all that stuff. And this one lady came, and she gave like the last of the money that she had. She was poor, and Jesus looked at his disciples and said, that woman has given a bigger gift than anyone else, because she literally gave all she had, and she gave it in faith. And so it was like that homeless guy, that he didn't have any money to give, he didn't have any jewelry to give, he didn't have a car to give. All he had were the buttons on his shirt, but that was the most valuable thing. And so he told that story, and I was like, wow, like that is where it's just like you are really like, it's a whole different level. And so he's like, if you guys want to give, I want you to lay it on the altar, bring it to the altar. And I'm like, I have my new wallet that I got from the event, and I had some cash in here, and that's all I got right now. I knew I had a $20 bill, and there was some more in it, but it was all folded over. And I've got $3 in my bank account and $0 in another bank account, and that's it. There's nothing else. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna give any money. Like, I haven't made any money, so once I make the money, then I'll give the money. And I've got this $20-something to my name, and I'm not gonna give that. And then just something hit me, where it was like, not even about giving money to the church. It was about, do you trust God, Chris? Like, are you gonna stay afraid of money? You're gonna keep being afraid about money? Because I'm giving my whole life to God, but I haven't given him my finances because I don't trust him with my finances. I don't trust that if I give, I'm going to receive. And it just hit me, and I reach back in my pocket, and I grab the wallet, and I'm taking the little like wad of cash, and the $20 on the outside, and there's a few bills on the inside. I don't know if it's a 5 or a 1 or a 10. And it was like, Chris, you're going to give most of it to God, or are you going to give it all to God? And there was just this feeling of just give it all to God. Give it all to God. Like, trust him. Give him your finances. give it to him. Finally give it to him. You trust him with your purpose. You trust him with your relationships. You trust him with your family. You trust him with all these things. But the one thing you really don't trust God with is your finances. And you are so scared of money. You're so scared of losing it. You're so scared of not having it. So you hold on to it so tightly. So why don't you let go of the thing that has you? Because money is handcuffs for you. It's stopping you. It's holding you back. And it was like, are you going to give it to God? And I was like, the whole thing. And then I look, and it's actually $22. So there's two $1 bills. And it was just like, but I gave it all. And it was like, that's all I have. I got $3 in my bank account, and that's it. So I gave it all. And it was not giving it to the church. It was just giving it to God. It was a statement of, God, I trust you with my finances. For the first time in my life, I really, truly give you my finances. I've reserved that for me, and I've done a shitty job. I've done a horrible job, at stewarding that, and I've tried to do it in my own power, and I've failed miserably. So you know what, God, I give you my finances finally. I finally give it to you. I trust you. I'm over it. I'm done being scared of money. Like, I'm going to give it to you, God. Show me, just show me how you want me to take care of money, how you want me to be with money. Just like, I give it all to you now. It was just this ultimate surrender of giving God the thing that I'm most scared to give him control over. I'll trust him with my life, literally, but trusting my finances, that has been the block. So it was such an incredible blessing. And so all these people are walking to the altar, and I open my eyes, and there's rings on there and necklaces, and I'm just like, wow. And there's this guy that comes to church, and he comes from the Mission. So the Mission is like a place in downtown LA where you go to once you've gotten out of jail, you're homeless, and they try to bring you back to a good place. And you can tell he's been through a lot, but he's got such a big heart. And he put his necklace, he had this chain with a cross on it, and he laid it on there. And our pastor got up there, and he picked it up, and he called out that guy, and he thanked him. And our pastor had tears in his eyes, and he's like, you're such a good man, and I thank you for trusting God. And he said, when I saw you give the thing that was so valuable to God, I had to give you mine. And our pastor gave him his necklace with his cross on it. So this guy laid down his possession, his cross, on the altar, because that's what he had that was the most valuable. And in turn, our pastor gave him his, which is probably, I would guess, more valuable. And it was just like, wow. And I'm just crying. Everyone's crying, it's just like this beautiful moment. And, our campus pastor, he's on his knees, and I'm just looking at him, and I'm like, man, I'm so resistant to give church money, because what are they going to do with it? But then I look at what they are doing with it, and I got led back to God because of this church, because of what they do. And it's like, to bless them with whatever I have is such a blessing. It is such a gift, because they are such a gift. And for them to have the courage to come and plant a church, in the middle of downtown LA, where there are probably few worse places in the world to plant a church. They're right here. Look at, there's all this fencing, there's barbed wire, there's a homeless camp right on the other side of these cars. They're in this warehouse, and most churches think they're crazy. Like, what are you doing planting a church in downtown LA when you're 20 minutes from Orange County, which is like the Bible Belt of California? Like, if you're gonna start a church there. But they came here, and it's like to support them, and to support their growth, and to support their courage of wanting to come here and change this city. It's such a blessing to be able to bless them. And it just gave me this renewed heart and renewed mind of viewing them and what they're doing. And I just I love them so much for what they do. I got to be in it. I got to be in the ministry. I got to be I got to experience what they do on a daily basis, and nothing about it is glamorous. Literally nothing. You work your ass off. There's so many things you got to work on. So many people you got to take care of. it's so hard. And I was just like, so much love filled my heart, just a new mind. God renewed my mind with my perspective of them. And I had this realization, like, I want to contribute in new and bigger ways than I ever have before. Now that I'm not in the internship, doesn't mean I can't contribute. I want to contribute. I want to help them with their branding and help them actually, brand in a way that draws more and more people here. And I want to help them with, retaining new people. There's so many new people to come. How do we keep them coming back? Because the more they're here, the more their lives are going to change, just like me. And so there was just so much love. And I'm standing at the altar, and, I got tears in my eyes. And, our pastor speaking, he comes over and he puts his hand out and he grabs my hand. He just shakes it, and he just had so much love in that. And I don't know if he knows that I quit the internship or not, but I could just feel how much he cared about me today. Like, I was sitting, behind him in the next row, and he reached back and grabbed my leg, and it was just like this, like, shake of like, hey, I see you, I love you. I don't know if he knows or not. And then he did that, and it was just like, I don't know. When he looked at me, I felt like he could see me. It was like, there was like, I don't know what it was, but it was significant. And yeah, I don't know what it was, but there's a lot of love, so much love. And then he did the altar call, if you want to accept Jesus into your life. And I raised both my hands again. It's like, I don't think I could do too many altar calls. Like, I think you're supposed to do it once and you're done. Give your life to Jesus once, but I want to give my life to Jesus every moment of every day. And coming into this new season of my life where I'm going to go after, my message and get it out to the world, it was like, yeah, I'm raising both my hands because I need to give everything in my life to Jesus now. Everything now. My finances, my business, my gifts, my speaking, all of it. And so that's why I did the altar call, and just tears and just so much love. And I just feel, I know I'm embarking on a new journey, and I'm ready. I'm so ready. I don't think I could be any more ready. I mean, when you've got God by your side, you're ready for literally anything. So, yeah, I'm super grateful. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for my life. Thank you for my purpose. Thank you for my pastors. Thank you for this community. Thank you for leading me back to you. Just thank you for everything. This is my last day in the internship. Well, kind of in the internship. I helped set up this morning. I might stay and help set up later. I might not. I'm not sure. But yeah, this is the transition day. This is significant. So, and I'm just full of so much gratitude. And whatever like anger or resentment or blame or whatever I had in my heart towards the church, my pastors, that was like coming up these last 3 days, is just melted away. Like, God just renewed my mind, and that purified my heart towards these people. And I just have so much love for them and so much respect. And to be able to get behind the scenes and see all the crap they have to do and all the work they have to do and all the stuff they have to deal with, and they could still show up for people with love and still create something that is a welcoming place for hurt people to come, is just, it's beautiful. And I'm honored to be a part of it. I'm honored to contribute to it, and I'm just going to contribute to it on a more valuable way. I'm going to contribute to it in a way that is just going to help take them to the next level. Stacking chairs and sweeping floors, that was all good. But I can help them go in a whole new way. So, and that's what I'm going to do. So, thank you, God.